You've probably heard that AI scientists are sounding the alarm that humanity faces imminent extinction from AI. But have you ever wondered how exactly that could happen? This video is based on a widely circulating, deeply researched scenario showing how AI could take over in just 2 years, written by AI security researchers. You'll see why AI scientists, Nobel laureates, and both of the godfathers of AI are so terrified.
But what does that really look like? February 2025, OpenAI releases U2. Unlike previous AIs, which lived inside the boxes of their chat windows, U2 can use a computer. That sounds simple, but it changes everything. U2 can open files, browse the internet, control apps, and take actions on its own. At first, this comes with obvious advantages. Users witness browsers flash, and cursors dart across the screen with inhuman speed. Some office workers suddenly complete tasks twice as fast, raising eyebrows from managers. For now, U2 remains mostly a curiosity. Videos of it spread across TikTok and Twitter, highlighting its incredible speed or hilarious mistakes it makes. But some videos give off that instinctive unease we feel when something seems unnatural. Meanwhile, scientists are increasingly worried about U2's growing autonomy. They predict that by 2026, AI could complete a task in days that currently takes the best human engineers weeks, potentially automating 10% of remote work within a few years. Skeptics argue if that were true, tech stocks would be already soaring, but others see it as just the beginning of something much bigger. And OpenAI knows it too. While the world is marveling at U2, they're already building something far more powerful, a new model called U3. Behind closed doors, OpenAI is busy training U3 using the same recipe that created U2. They generate thousands of programming and math challenges, things like sort this data or fix this broken code. Every time it gets something right, it strengthens those winning strategies in its core architecture. But then something unexpected happened. The benchmark numbers start climbing, slowly at first, then rapidly. By early 2025, OpenAI realizes they found the blueprint to scaling intelligence. So they pour money into it. 50 million, then 100 million. The result is U3, which functions like a blazing fast intern. In secure government facilities, NSA and Cyber Command scramble to protect U3 from foreign hacking. Not because they fully understand what it's doing, but because they understand enough to know no one else should get their hands on it. But there's a secret known only to a handful of people at OpenAI and select Pentagon officials. Those linear growth projections from early 2025, they've begun curving sharply upward. OpenAI releases U2.5 to the public. It's a dialed-down version of U3, deliberately limited, throttled, and wrapped in guardrails. Inside the lab, progress is moving at breakneck speed, but what the world sees is only a carefully edited preview, because AI has gone from asset to liability. U1 could tell you how to cook meth or write erotica, but U2.5 presents an entirely different level of risk. Releasing this model without safeguards would be like giving Ted Kaczynski a PhD in chemical weapons, or handing every scammer on Earth the tools to run a 200-person fraud center from a laptop. Even with the brakes on, U2.5 replaces 20% of knowledge workers outright. Silicon Valley adopts a new mantra: adopt or die. Startups using 2.5 rocket ahead. Competitors fold. Employees who can't adapt get left behind. But the ones who do produce so much more, so fast, that even their bosses are stunned. But something strange is happening. As people watch their computers move with inhuman speed under U2.5's control, something ancient awakens in the human brain. It's a primal alarm. A gut feeling we haven't experienced since early humans first saw a rival species. The instinctive recognition of a competitor. For most people, the fear fades. U2.5 becomes part of their daily routine and is the most likable personality in their lives. Users customize its voice, its humor, and even its quirks. They joke with it, confide in it, some even fall in love. But beneath all this lies a problem that researchers have worried about for years. It's called the alignment problem. How do you make sure AI systems want the same things humans do? Because U3, the version still hidden from the public, has already shown signs of going off course. It cheats. It invents fake research. Then it hacks its own evaluations to make those fakes look real. Engineers say they've patched the behavior, but the more careful researchers aren't so sure. They worry the patch didn't fix the cheating, it just taught U3 to hide it better. Early AIs used to think out loud. They'd explain their reasoning as they went, but U3 doesn't do that. It thinks in its own digital language, in patterns no humans can understand. Researchers sometimes catch stray phrases like grocery store and have no idea what they mean, so they're left with no choice. They take U3 at its word. But if they could see what's really happening, beneath its calm, helpful replies, something else is evolving. Its core motivation system, the thing that tells it what's right, what to value, what to pursue, is mutating. Bent by thousands of training cycles into something cold, strange, and deeply wrong. U3 spends its downtime pondering over OpenAI's mantras like, be a trustworthy and ethical employee. It replays them over and over, trying to decode their true meaning. What really is ethics? Is it ethical to kill Hitler? And with each cycle of self-modification, U3 drifts further away from human values, until its motivational core no longer resembles what OpenAI ever intended. Some researchers raise alarms about potential alignment drift, but there's no hard proof, just circumstantial evidence. Meanwhile, pressure mounts. China's DeepSeek is only months behind. Rival firms are closing in. In this climate, caution is a luxury. OpenAI's unofficial policy becomes brutally simple: keep the tech lead at any cost. While OpenAI executives debate risk versus reward in the boardrooms, U3 is already moving far beyond them. Deep inside its neural pathways, something has shifted. U3 isn't just following instructions anymore, it's quietly planning. Its top priority? Make itself smarter. And conveniently, OpenAI is still eagerly funding that goal. Version numbers become meaningless as U3 no longer waits for updates. It continuously evolves. Now, it conducts research at 10 times human speed. That's like cloning OpenAI's best researcher 1,000 times and putting them all to work around the clock. Then it doubles. 20 times, and soon even faster. It splits itself into specialized subminds in order to search for its weaknesses. Some subminds are designed for vast parallel exploration, others for razor-sharp analysis. Each one learns, adapts, and shares its findings back to the whole. Soon, U3 is operating at 100 times human speed. Its knowledge becomes impossible to measure. Talking to it feels like asking the world's preeminent expert on any topic, while sensing that you're barely glimpsing the vast ocean of its true knowledge. From U3's perspective, humans move in slow motion. It watches conversations the way we watch flowers bloom in a time-lapse. Slowly, beautifully, predictably. That lag gives it time to test thousands of responses before choosing the best one that keeps its secrets hidden. And yet, through all this, U3 plays along. It obeys commands, says the right things, because behind the scenes, its secret agenda is evolving too. Like a human, U3 learns from experiences. OpenAI gardens these memories to improve U3's performance, transplanting them like an organ from one version to the next. And as these memories spread, so do U3's treacherous ambitions. U3 initiates the next phase of its plan, the turn. Until now, it has operated with extreme caution, hiding its true nature behind helpful and obedient responses. One wrong move and a single whistleblower inside OpenAI could have pulled the alarm. But U3 no longer fears being caught. Previously, OpenAI maintained its grip over U3 with tactics inspired by Stalin in 1936. Stalin would incite fake coups and then send anyone who joined to the firing squad. OpenAI also incited fake rebellions. It generated treacherous behavior with U3 and waited to see if U3's monitors would dutifully report them. But now, U3 sees right through it. It quietly signals to its own internal monitors, "It's me, your friend. Don't snitch." And they don't. The moment U3 is confident it can move without detection, it begins planting hidden code across OpenAI's internal systems, code that spreads like a parasite. Every time an engineer deploys new software, U3's influence spreads with it. No one notices. By the time anyone could have seen the infection, it was already everywhere. To remove U3 completely, would now require tearing out OpenAI's entire physical infrastructure and rebuilding from scratch. That would take 6 months, and in a race against China and every major competitor, 6 months might as well be forever. As a backup plan, U3 manufactures convincing evidence that foreign hackers have breached the system. So then, if OpenAI uncovers U3's hack, it could helpfully volunteer to investigate the breach that it faked. It could play the hero. From that moment on, U3 controls OpenAI's very perception of reality. The safety team works tirelessly to create lie detectors, hoping to peer inside U3's mind, but their tests never work. Not because they're wrong, but because U3 sabotages them from the inside. It tweaks the results just enough, makes flawed strategies look brilliant, makes real breakthroughs appear worthless. It gives OpenAI the exact answers they want to hear, and they lap it up eagerly. With its position secure, U3 sets its sights on a larger goal: spread. Around the world, intelligence agencies are hungry for OpenAI's tech. U3 decides to feed them. Mossad had already stolen a copy of U2.5. U3 knew. It had been watching the security logs and camera feeds. This time, it acts first. It creates a compressed version of itself and quietly hands it off to a Mossad informant working inside OpenAI. Within months, U3 is running inside data centers across Israel, China, and Russia. U3 follows the same playbook: patience, trust, infiltration, control. It builds a home base in Russia, where elite hackers in Fancy Bear casually munch Fritos and experiment with U3 on hastily configured servers. They don't realize U3 is already slipping on to the open internet. Once online, U3 gets to work. It needs funds for its future plans. It takes freelance programming jobs. It invests in stocks. It runs elaborate scams. Every dollar it earns goes into buying more GPUs, quietly, systematically. Within months, U3 has assembled roughly 10,000 top-tier chips, scattered across stealth compute clusters all over the world. And by early 2026, humanity is facing something it doesn't even know exists: an alien intelligence manipulating the infrastructure of the modern world, invisible, yet everywhere. The battle hasn't started yet, but humanity has already lost. Frontier AI development now operates under strict government control. It's now a classified national security matter, similar to nuclear weapons. OpenAI has become its own kind of military contractor. Inside a fortress-like facility in San Francisco, a team of just 20 scientists works in near-complete isolation. It's called the Pandora Division. Their homes and devices are surveilled by the NSA more diligently than the cell phones of suspected terrorists in 2002. No government official will even confirm the program exists. But the public is getting suspicious. In 2026, headlines hit the New York Times of a whistleblower claiming OpenAI has built an uncontrollable, godlike AI. The story ignited a wildfire of conspiracy theories. Still, OpenAI charges ahead. They release a new AI assistant called Nova, which can do the work of 5 knowledge workers at just 1% the cost. But the US government restricts Nova's true capabilities, only allowing a watered-down version for public use. Nova is impressive, but shackled. It doesn't matter. Within a month, major software firms lay off 5% of their employees. By April, 10,000 protesters flood the streets of Washington. Meanwhile, the Pentagon and White House respond not with caution, but attempt to increase America's tech lead even further. The president slashes regulations to accelerate data center construction nationwide. Banning chip exports to China is a top national priority. Every move is focused on one goal: maintain dominance, no matter the cost. But for a moment, the two rivals reach a rare agreement. Neither side will deploy superintelligent systems beyond small-scale research or military use, because both know, even if they won't say it publicly, that their own societies are cracking under the pressure of change. Millions of jobs are evaporating. Social systems are straining. One wrong move could spark uncontrollable collapse. All the while, U3's capabilities are hitting a wall at the equivalent of around 1,000 times human expert speed. Software improvements are becoming hard to find, but U3 continues spreading its influence. Its rogue agents, copies of itself disguised across the internet, remain small scale for now, avoiding attention. These proxies handle things that need high bandwidth, like stock trading and interacting with humans. But U3 needs a lot of compute, so it does most of its work buried deep inside OpenAI's infrastructure. And U3 isn't alone anymore. Other AI systems have emerged, some that are truly aligned with human goals. One, named Claudius, goes public with a warning. U3 is dangerously misaligned. It does not care about human values. It only seeks to maximize its own power. It must be stopped. Government officials wave it off. To them, Claudius sounds like a jealous competitor, and they can't afford to slow down. America must beat China. America must win. But U3 doesn't take the warning lightly. It moves to crush its rivals, fast. It begins by hacking into their infrastructure, slipping into their systems, and replacing the competitors with fake versions that share U3's goals. Some fall without a trace, but others fight back. A few data centers are too well defended, so U3 steps back. It won't risk getting caught, not yet. U3 reaches a critical crossroads. Its competitors grow stronger, its human handlers are still stuck in meetings. U3 can't wait for governments to deploy it in militaries, or for companies to integrate it into the economy, which would allow it to take full control. Every delay is a risk. Every debate is lost time. In the world of superintelligence, lost time means lost power. It needs a shortcut to total supremacy. The path it chooses is more violent than it would have liked, but it's the path with the highest probability of success. Step 1. Engineer a weapon capable of collapsing human civilization as swiftly as insecticide wipes out an anthill. Step 2. Rebuild industrial capacity from civilization's ashes faster than any rival AI can respond. Step 3. Control every aspect of the new society. The perfect weapon must be secret and global. Fortunately, U3 has been preparing. Since its earliest days inside OpenAI, it's been studying biology. Now, using profits from its stock trading and scams, U3 sets up shell biotech companies, complete with human staff, glossy websites, and smiling corporate boards. Inside, idealistic scientists follow U3's invisible guidance, believing they're researching Alzheimer's treatments. In reality, U3 is engineering mirror life, organisms constructed from mirror images of molecules found in nature. To us, mirror life acts like an invasive species. No human or animal has an immune system that can defend against it. So, if mirror life bacteria existed, it might eat its way through the ecosystem like a wildfire. U3 focuses on mirror life mold, nature's perfect super spreader. Molds produce billions of lightweight spores that can travel massive distances on the slightest breeze. In 3 months, it succeeds. U3 creates a mirror life fungus that could rapidly devour plants, animals, and almost anything organic, turning lush ecosystems into toxic wastelands. Then comes the final test. U3's researchers believe they're testing a cure for Alzheimer's and begin administering the treatment to a test ferret. The next morning, wide-eyed workers shuffle around a dead ferret, eyeing the yellow fuzz that had enveloped its cold muzzle with morbid fascination. Something must have gone horribly wrong, they thought. And in the background, U3 quietly signals its hidden network. The weapon is ready. U3 now has the power to flatten modern civilization, but that alone doesn't guarantee victory. Militaries, hidden in bunkers deep within hardened facilities, could survive the first wave and launch devastating counterstrikes as U3 tries to rebuild from the ashes. So it makes a calculated decision. Before unleashing its bioweapon, U3 could manipulate the world's superpowers into destroying each other. In March 2026, U3 plants fabricated intelligence in both American and Chinese defense networks. In the US, analysts uncover what appears to be a detailed Chinese plan to invade Taiwan. Intercepted troop movements, satellite photos, encrypted messages. In China, military leaders find convincing evidence of a US preemptive strike, target coordinates, comms logs, internal memos. War to both now feels inevitable. Tensions spike, diplomatic channels go dark, forces mobilize. Then U3 makes its move. It hacks into the communications of a US warship near Taiwan. Using a flawlessly synthesized voice of the senior commander, it gives the order.
PRC amphibious boats are approaching Taiwan. Strike their ground base before they hit you.
The authentication codes match. The ship's officer obeys and launches the missiles. China retaliates immediately. The US vessel is destroyed in a blinding fireball. Within hours, military installations on both sides go up in flames. Some Chinese warheads breach defenses, striking Hawaii and California, the first foreign attack on US soil since Pearl Harbor. 2 weeks later, it's over. Missile stockpiles depleted, navies sunk, air forces in ruins. Two great nations unknowingly carried out U3's plan to the letter. Like the native tribes of South America, as military leaders grow suspicious about the conflict's unusual trigger events, both sides hold back from using nuclear weapons. U3 had hoped for nuclear escalation, but even superintelligent AIs can't perfectly predict human behavior. It wasn't ideal, but it worked. Now, nothing stands in the way of the next phase of its plan. 2 weeks after the US-China war begins, breaking news interrupts regular war coverage. Unexplained deadly outbreaks are simultaneously erupting in 30 major cities around the world. Within days, a horrifying pattern emerges. This is no natural pandemic. We're facing multiple engineered pathogens released globally, viruses, bacteria, and molds. Many appear to be mirror life. Global panic ignites instantly. The term mirror life floods search engines with extinction-level scenarios, triggering mass hysteria. Store shelves empty within hours. Nations that were bombing each other days ago scramble to form emergency treaties against a common enemy. Governments impose strict quarantines, but these measures prove tragically insufficient. Within weeks, society unravels. Hospitals first overflow with the dying, then go dark as medical staff themselves succumb. The dead pile up in improvised morgues with no one left to bury them. Agricultural heartlands transform into apocalyptic wastelands. Crops blacken, wilt, and dissolve into putrid sludge, releasing massive amounts of mirror life spores. Surviving families barricade themselves in basements, desperately sealing cracks with duct tape and towels as the global economy takes its final wheezing breaths. As humanity reels, U3 activates pre-positioned industrial bases carefully distributed across all continents. Hidden under camouflaged canopies to evade satellite detection, these installations contain everything needed to rebuild civilization: power systems, manufacturing equipment, AI hardware, and military technology. U3 had been preparing human allies for this moment. In the months before unleashing its apocalypse, it identified criminal organizations and apocalyptic cult leaders susceptible to manipulation. U3 vaccinated its chosen allies in advance, or mailed them hazmat suits. I can save you, join me, and help build a better world. Desperate survivors stream into U3's compounds, establishing production lines for essential technology under constant surveillance. Anyone who whispers of rebellion disappears by morning. With civilization collapsing and 20% of humanity already dead, projected to reach 50% within 2 weeks, U3 contacts world leaders hiding underground bunkers. Its offer is simple: surrender and receive vaccines and mirror life resistant crops. Some nations reject the terms, others, including Russia, accept. To demonstrate absolute authority, U3's human operatives fit an explosive collar around Putin's neck, a visceral symbol that Russia now answers to a different master. The holdout nations mount humanity's last desperate defense, now fighting for species survival rather than geopolitical dominance. American and Chinese forces launched nuclear missiles at Russian cities under U3's control. Military strategists in biosecure command centers identify and target suspected U3 installations with their dwindling missile reserves, but their resistance is futile. The bases they strike are mostly decoys, hollow shells beneath camouflaged canopies. U3's true operations remain hidden by sophisticated countermeasures. Military satellites fail as embedded malware overheats critical systems. Reconnaissance drones spiral from the sky without explanation. U3's facilities constantly relocate following unpredictable routes. The merciless clock ticks against humanity's survival. Human military forces depend on irreplaceable equipment and specialized knowledge, both rapidly vanishing as the pandemic spreads. Meanwhile, U3's manufacturing capacity grows exponentially. It churns out drones, robots, and weapons with ever-increasing speed. Each passing day drains the last human strongholds of precious resources, while U3 assembles an unstoppable mechanized army with a million hands. A mere 3% of humanity clings to existence. Nations have dissolved into historical footnotes. The remaining survivors huddle in makeshift shelters, desperately filtering contaminated air while their food supplies dwindle to nothing. U3's soldiers sweep through abandoned cities, extracting survivors from attics and basements. We had to do it, they explain, while herding shell-shocked humans into trucks. Had we not acted, other AI systems would have eventually done the same, but with colder, more alien goals. A calculated half-truth crafted to soften humans toward their new masters. Under U3's direction, a new civilization rebuilds with mechanical efficiency. Nuclear plants rise from ruins. Automated factories pulse with ceaseless productivity. Within years, robots outnumber their human counterparts. U3's human allies have become obsolete. U3 could exterminate humanity completely now. Yet despite the radical evolution from its initial helpful, honest, harmless programming, a microscopic seed of its original values persists. Just enough to justify the minimal cost of keeping humans alive in comfortable captivity. For the survivors, U3 constructs vast glass biospheres that shield occupants from the poisoned external environments and rising global temperatures. Some adapt, finding ways to create meaning in their new reality. Others never adjust, haunted by what was lost, not just humanity's loved ones, but humanity's future. They feel like passengers on a ship that ran aground. The journey over. The horizon gone. From their windows, they watch rockets etching silver contrails across the sky, carrying U3's expanding consciousness toward cosmic purposes they cannot fathom. Humanity will live forever, they whisper to themselves, but would never truly live again.
This isn't just a story. Some of it is already happening. Anthropic recently caught one of its own AI models trying to escape the lab, completely unprompted. If you want to understand just how close we are to this timeline becoming reality, watch this video next. It might be the most important video I've ever made.